Several years ago, I purchased this old 3-drawer dresser for $5. It had been tucked away in an old storage unit for many years, and until now, I really wasn't sure what to do with it. I could probably just repair the damage and sell this piece as is for a small profit. But with your help, I discovered part of its history, and for that reason, I decided to try something new. As I restore and refinish old furniture, I understand that many of these furniture pieces were around long before my time. But they often still serve as a reminder of how quickly time goes by. I believe this solid pine dresser was manufactured in the 1960s, and without looking at it too closely, I first thought that this piece was homemade. But with your help, I discovered that this piece was manufactured by Harris Line Super Pine Furniture out of Pendleton, Oregon. The Harris Pine Mills Furniture Company was one of the leading manufacturers of pine furniture during the middle of the 20th century. They often sold their furniture unfinished, allowing the homeowners to choose their own finishes for these pieces. So I thought I would try a more natural finish on this solid pine. My hope is to give this dresser an appropriate protective finish for future use, but also create a similar look to the way that it may have looked arriving from the factory unfinished. It's true that at the moment, wood species like teak, mahogany, and walnut are more desirable. Other species like oak and pine are often underrated. Many may even be considered to be dated. And although that might be the case for some furniture, for the most part, I disagree with that statement. There are so many old, neglected furniture pieces that have the potential to look beautiful again without painting them. A majority of this project involves switching back and forth between scraping the old finishes and removing the rest with a power sander. For most of the sanding, I'll use the sponge-like pads on the SurfPrep 3x4 sander. This will help sand appropriately while also preserving the profile of this dresser. Sanding the outside of this dresser and making minor repairs makes this an easy restoration. However, if you've ever restored furniture, then you'll know that sanding every inch of a piece like this requires patience. For any of the furniture purists out there, I'm not sure if any of my projects could ever be considered a complete, accurate restoration. My goal with any project is simply to choose a desired look and do the best I can to achieve that look, not cutting any corners along the way. During the manufacturing process, there were several nail holes that were filled with wood filler. I removed most of the wood filler and filled it back in with what I thought would be a much better color. But in the end, I still had to add a little bit of color with a stain marker. I'll use a chemical stripper to remove the finishes on the delicate drawer pulls. There's one drawer pull with a small chip in it. In my opinion, it wasn't enough damage to cut a new replacement piece. I'll simply smooth out the damaged section while sanding. There are a lot of finish choices that might make this pine look yellow or orange again, but this clear wax polish should leave the pine looking as natural as possible. I'll use a wax brush and fine steel wool to apply several coats of clear wax to this entire dresser. It goes on a little darker, but once dry, it will leave a nice clear, light finish. Wax finishes may require annual maintenance and may not be as durable as other finishes like polyurethane. But once the wax was buffed out, I was pleased with the results.